Hi guys, my name is Adam. I'm going to be your professor for drawing this semester. Um, Coming to you straight from my painting studio at home. So hopefully you're watching this safe and comfortable at home as well. Obviously, find ourselves in a little bit different situation than we normally would for our drawing class, being that we are online. Um, my first time teaching an online class, and definitely first time doing this class in this sort of format. Obviously it's not the first time a class has been taught online. I'm sure many of you have even done this before. It's a little bit different with drawing because, it's such a hands-on thing. But I think, we're going to get through this and we're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun. So, um, drawing can sometimes be kind of frustrating. So it's not always all fun. It's a lot of hard work, and drawing is a difficult thing to learn. We have some extra challenges, being that we're not actually able to meet in person. But luckily, we have technology to work with us. So the weirdest thing about me making these videos is actually kind of like looking at myself when I make the videos because I'm using Zoom. But I'll get over it, and we'll all get over it. If you don't have Zoom, I would highly recommend that you download it. I would love the opportunity for us to be able to all get together and meet. I sent some resources to y'all via email about where to get your materials. We'll talk more about that in our next video. And info on our syllabus, which everything's going to be posted up at Canvas. That's mostly what we're going to go over today. But also, it'd be really cool if you could get Zoom. If you don't have access to a computer or internet, there's some info in that email there as well. So there's some opportunity to get a computer at Clark, and even like a little hotspot so you can get internet at home. If there's any extenuating circumstances where that's an issue for you, just email me at any point. Like I said, today we're just going to kind of do an introduction. It's as if, it's your first day of class. You just walked in, we'd introduce ourselves, kind of go around the room and say a little bit about ourselves. So being that we're not all here together, I'm pre-recording this in the evening at home. I'll just start by introducing myself. Like I said, I'm Adam. I'm going to be your instructor. I'm an artist, full-time artist. Been working professionally doing that for like 15 years, teaching at Clark for like 5. I just teach a class or two, and I do that because I enjoy it. I think that puts me at an advantage compared to a lot of teachers in the sense that I'm not doing it because I have to, per se. I do it because I really do enjoy it. So I said, this is going to be a different experience for all of us, making lemons out of lemonade, basically. But that said, I'm pretty excited about the semester, and if anything, it's another opportunity to learn for all of us. So I'm someone who likes to take opportunities to learn and grow where I can. Hopefully you're the same. I imagine being a student, that's why you're a student. That's why you're here watching this video of me in my basement studio. So yeah, we're gonna kind of go over the semester a little bit. I'll talk to you. I'm gonna pull up. I figured out a way. I'll start by saying, first off, I'm really bad at names. I'm not super technologically proficient. So last semester when we heard that, there's more news coming out of what's going on with Corona. I don't know if this is going to be helpful or not. I turn on of what's going on with the coronavirus. How's that going to affect our classes? What's this all going to look like? There started to be talks of us, knowing that this was going to be going online. And at first it was kind of like, oh man, some people have done this a lot and they have a really strong sense of technology, especially the people that teach in various design programs. But I paint and I draw, and I know my way around a computer a little bit, but I'm not great. So I've been learning. I'm going to be posting all of these videos to YouTube, and every assignment is going to be posted up on Canvas. I'm going to be communicating with you as much as possible there. I want to create opportunities for office hours at least once a week where you can request a meeting with me via Zoom. Like I said, it'd be great if we could all get together at least a couple times, give it a try. I know it might be hard to, or a challenge to kind of coordinate everybody to get us all in the same room or on the same kind of Zoom meeting at once. But I imagine, I mean, I've been hearing from a lot of people that you've already been using this with your family. So hopefully it's not too foreign for you. I have been learning stuff by just doing some basic YouTube searches. So really not too difficult to figure out, but we're getting there. So I did figure out a way to kind of share our screens, or share my screen, what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to pull up the Canvas. Let's see, Canvas page right here. So you should be able to see that now. And basically, we're going to be communicating primarily through Canvas. Everything's going to be posted here. There's going to be links to where you can watch these videos that I pre-record, and those will all be on YouTube. And I think there's a way that I can make it password protected, so not everyone in the world can watch our videos, but you just find the link, enter a password, and you can get in there. Honestly, like, you guys are probably a lot better at technology than I am in general. So if there's other tips and you think, hey, this will work easier, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. We can be fluid with this, and I think that's a big thing in general. We're going to be drawing is always a lot about managing expectations, because drawing is difficult and it's hard to teach you how to draw. I always kind of say, you know, in the beginning, it's a joke, but it's not a joke. Like, I can't teach you how to draw. And in a way, what's going to happen is I'm going to teach you techniques and ways to start looking at things, and different kind of vocabulary and different ways to approach your drawing and really break it down and look at it. But ultimately, I can't put that skill into your mind or into your muscle memory. That's something that you have to develop. You're going to spend, the more time you spend trying to draw and working and practicing, the better you're going to get, just like anything. I think that people that are really good at something make it look really easy. So like we watch sports, or we, you know, listen to a musician play a guitar, and you're like, oh man, sounds great, or looks great, looks easy, and you try to go do it and you realize, wow. What you don't see is that behind the scenes of this individual working for their entire life, practicing every single day. You know, a lot of my classes will start the first day by kind of going around and asking people what kind of art experience they have. And that's not to necessarily put you on the spot. It's more about getting a sense of kind of where you're at, so I know where the class is at. And a lot of people on that first day will say things to me like, oh, well, I can't even draw a stick figure. And I'll ask them, well, how many hours a week? Better yet, how many hours a day do you spend drawing? I'll say none. And it's like, well, you know, I don't claim that I can golf, but I've been maybe once and it wasn't pretty. So it's just, you know, to think that you're going to just jump in and learn this really difficult craft in the course of a handful of weeks or months and master it is not necessarily realistic. So manage those realistic expectations. But on top of that, we're like piled up with having other challenges as well. So, you know, certain things are going to work for certain people and not others. We all learn different ways. So for some of you, this might work really easily. For some of you, it might not. But the biggest thing I want to communicate right now is that, you know, we just need to stay in good communication. And if something's working or not working for you, especially, reach out to me. I want to be available for you and help in any way I can. So that said, as you can see, I've got Canvas pulled up, and mine might look a little different on my end than yours. But ultimately, I think some of the tabs along the sides are pretty much the same. But we've got our syllabus is on the home page. So right away, you should see the syllabus. Like I said, a lot of fluidity here. So this is just kind of an overall breakdown of everything. The day-to-day stuff is probably going to change a little bit. Little details here. We're going to have to move things around. We'll see how things are going and we'll kind of take it from there. But basically, the way that the class is going to work is, as I mentioned in that email, I'm going to make 2 posts a week, just as if we were meeting. Initially, when I first signed up to teach this class, we were scheduled to meet Tuesday and Thursday mornings pretty early. Obviously, that's different and that's changing. But the way that I teach is, and the way that I've always kind of wrapped my head around this class is around these 2 class meetings. So rather than have those class meetings, I'm still breaking down the semester into those kind of, bi-weekly kind of thing going on. So I'm going to make posts, which either going to be videos like this every Tuesday and every Thursday morning. You don't have to look at it at any particular time in the day, but just know that before noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll have information posted to Canvas about what you should be looking at for that week or even that day or the next couple days. And it'll have info on what projects are due. There'll be links to every project posted in Canvas with detailed information. Sometimes I'll post videos where I talk to you like this and lecture. Sometimes I'll post videos of other people lecturing. I'll do demos here in my studio and post those for you. And like I said, sometimes we'll find cool demos of other people showing you different techniques. So Canvas is going to be important for you. If you don't know how to log into Canvas, I will email an IT number and they can get you your password and whatnot. So you want to make sure that you can log into here. Basically, you should be seeing this, our syllabus here. And it starts with our course objective, which is basically, teaching you how to draw. But like I said, since I can't really teach you exactly how to draw, I'm going to give you the key fundamentals and principles to drawing for you to practice to learn to draw. But really, drawing in this initial class is about learning how to see, learning how to really look at something and translate that to the page. It sounds so simple, right? Like you look at something, you transfer it to the page. But as any of you know that have tried to do that, it's a lot easier said than done. And so really, drawing is a lot about observation, really being able to look at it, what it is you're drawing, figure out the whole proportions of it. How does the light hit it? Where does it sit? How wide is it? How do you push that sense of volume? All these things, and translate that to your page in a way that reads similarly enough to that what you're looking at, that someone can look at and be like, oh yeah, I see. That's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to draw this cup or this vase or whatever it is. So it's an introductory class, but at the same time, if you have skills drawing, this is still going to be helpful for you. If you've been drawing your whole life, maybe you've never taken a drawing class, but you have a lot of skill with drawing, this is absolutely going to be great practice for you. If you can't draw a stick figure and you never do, never have drawn, never taken an art class, this is going to be crucial for you as well. There's a reason that Clark and many colleges make you take a drawing class if you're a design, if you want to go into design, or you want to go into architecture, or you want to go into art, like maybe you're into sculpture, or maybe you want to be a mechanic someday. Drawing is a great exercise in problem solving. It's an easy way to really like break things down scientifically in a way, and think about it on a deeper level, to be able to see, work out ideas. So that's why they make you take this class. So the course is going to be broken down into exercises and projects. Every day on Tuesday and Thursday, for the most part, we're going to have exercises for you to do. So those exercises, you can think of it as like what would be our in-class work. So I'm going to be giving you a demo. We're going to start with line, and then we're going to work our way into light and dark, value and form, and all of these different key elements of drawing will be kind of scaffolded throughout the semester. So we're going to start each Tuesday and Thursday with exercises. Sometimes those on Thursday, I'll just post, hey, today's a work day. Maybe it's a Tuesday. Today's a work day. Work on this project. Spend some extra time. I'll be here available if you need to email or want to do a Zoom and ask some questions. Show me your project, what you got going on. But the exercises, it kind of takes the place of our in-class work. So I'm going to give you either a demo or some info. It's like, boom, here's some new techniques. I want you to set up a still life in your house that looks kind of like this, and then you're going to draw this many drawings. Like I said, it'll all be laid out for you, and this will all be posted to assignments. So these are still assignments, and you'll be given points for your completion, all of these, and they'll have specific due dates. But the exercises, I'm not really grading per se. It's more of like, if you do it and you do it on time, you'll get your points. We'll talk more about grading and points as we get through this syllabus here, but your projects over here are going to be your actual like graded bigger projects that will take all those exercises that we've done and all the techniques and skills we've built and put them in a more regular project. There's going to be, it says 7 here. We're going to probably shoot for somewhere between 4 and 7, maybe 5 and 7, depending on the courses of how things go throughout the semester. We already are cut back. So generally speaking, we have a 12-week semester. I think in the spring, sometimes it's more like 11 weeks. It could be wrong. But we're cut back to like 8 or 9. So we're going to trim the fat on some areas and like get rid of certain things that are just not quite as necessary to the fundamentals of drawing and really just kind of focus in. So we'll see kind of how many projects we're able to get through. But ultimately, you know, the projects are gonna work their way up in difficulty. The exercises in class will work their way up in difficulty. I'm gonna kind of be grading accordingly. So, you know, the workload in each project is gonna get a little bit heavier. So, you know, outside of your exercises or what we would consider class time work, what you're going to be working on in those bi-weekly exercises, these projects are going to be time that you put on, you think of as like your homework. So generally speaking, you know, I would say you'd expect to put in at least 6 hours a week on these projects. Like I said, this is a lot of info, and I don't want anyone to start freaking out because there is a lot of flexibility here. You're going to be able to do this for the most part on your own time. Like if we have an exercise, then I assign it to you Tuesday, and it's like, here's the demo, here's the exercise, you can read about it all on Canvas. You need to just turn this in or a quick picture of it before this date, which is a few days out. So rather than you're in class right now doing it, that's it. You've got some flexibility. You can work with your own time, work with your own schedule. I know that even though a lot of us are stuck at home, we still have stuff to do. Like I've got a 2.5-year-old running around and a wife who's trying to work. So my schedule is a lot different than it once was. Me finding time to work happens a lot in the evening. So there's some flexibility, but you'll still have a deadline of when things are due. I'll talk to you a little bit more as we get in here about how you're going to be turning in your projects. We'll get into that a little bit deeper. Ultimately, you know, according to Clark guidelines, we have our learning objectives here. Basically, display drawing proficiency and accuracy. So once again, this is an intro class, and it will talk about your ability to render what you see. But in that, I want you to kind of develop your own style. I talked a lot about managing expectations, and I'm going to talk a lot more about that throughout the semester. People have this sense of like what makes a good and bad drawing. And most people, especially in intro drawing class, when you ask them what's a good drawing, in their mind, they picture this like photorealistic, perfect drawing. And maybe that is a good drawing some of the times. Is it a good piece of art? We'll kind of talk about that in our next little lecture. Not always. Good drawing doesn't make necessarily for a good piece of art, because art's more about the ideas behind it. So it can be really hard for students if they're so focused on this idea of what a good drawing is, rather than just letting themselves kind of figure out what a good drawing for them is. We all have our own style. We all approach everything differently. So we're going to kind of work our way from this display drawing proficiency and accuracy thing into, more of a conceptual side of it, like putting ideas and communicating through your drawing. Outside of that initial one, we've got display skill and rendering. Analyze and articulate compositional elements. We're not necessarily going to have formal review or critiques, but you're going to write me up info. I'm going to try to get discussion boards set up so we can all talk to each other about each other's work. We're going to have some options here. So got some info on grading here. It's complete all your exercises, all that in-class exercise work that you'll be doing and getting full points as long as you get it done and you turn it in on the right time will be 40% of your final grade. Those longer, more detailed projects will be another 40% of your grade. And then, turn in all your work on time. The other 20% of your grade is more just participation. So the thing that makes me the most nervous about doing a class online is, we always have some students that are more engaged than others. And my fear is losing the folks that tend to be less interested in this or just are too busy or less engaged. So I just want to see that you're engaged. If we have a discussion board up, do your best to try to contribute a little bit. Make sure your projects are in on time. Show me that you're working. Like if you disappear and I don't hear from you at all, it's a little bit harder for me to be flexible with you. But that said, if something's coming up, you're working on something, but you have a really hard time, it's going to be late, you can communicate with me and be like, hey, I had this going on, or this is where I'm at right now, the picture of the drawing, just need a little bit more time. And, chances are we can make that work for you. But if I just never hear from you, there's no updates, I'm obviously not going to be seeing you face to face every day. And I'm not going to just say, okay, check, you're here. So your attendance is more the work you put in at home. And if I'm not seeing that or never hearing from you, then, that's what's really going to affect your participation. So I've got some overall points breakdown here. And this is just kind of the general info of what I put. Some of this stuff is subject to change, like huge bone drawing. We're not in class, we don't have access to the bones, but that's going to be a little bit different. Instead of a bone drawing, you're going to set up a large still life at home that you can leave for a week and draw for at least 4 or 5 hours. But like I said, this stuff is just an overall sense of what we're going to be doing, so you can get a sense of like what's going on and how the points work up. We do have opportunity for extra credit. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to grab some water. Thanks. So we do have some opportunities for extra credit, and I'm going to make more opportunities for you throughout the semester. So for instance, we're going to do we're going to have an opportunity to draw self-portraits, and you'll just have to work on it for a couple hours. There's no way you're going to finish a well-developed self-portrait in a couple hours. So I'll say, hey, if this is something you want to continue and work on, you can get some extra credit points for that. But we'll get there. Right now, the big one is you can receive extra credit for maintaining a sketchbook throughout the term. I'm going to upload some other opportunities here. Usually I'll say, if you want to go visit a gallery, you can do a write-up of that gallery. Obviously, it's not happening, but there are some online galleries, and there's other cool, you could watch like an artist lecture and do a write-up of that. And I'll give you some resources for that down the line. So there will be other opportunities for extra credit. There's a lot of info here on just Clark stuff, ADA accommodations, non-discrimination policy, counseling and health center. So required materials. Tough part about making art is that it costs money. So it can get kind of expensive, but the good thing is drawing is probably one of the cheaper, easier mediums to enter into, because compared to, if this was a painting class and you needed 10 tubes of paint and each one of them costs $15 to $20, and then you need 10 brushes, you can spend, like, a brush like this doesn't look like much, but this brush probably cost me $20. And over the course of the last 15 years, I've amassed a massive amount of these brushes. So, it can get really expensive if you want to buy that all up front, especially if you're trying to buy high quality materials. But drawing, pretty affordable. Like, we've got a packet roughly around $50 that includes everything. I sent that link of where you can order it on the bookstore website. So just do your best to get that ASAP. The sooner you're able to get that packet, the sooner you're able to kind of expand your visual vocabulary and your mark making for drawing. I recognize that not everyone's going to have their packet day one. Like, you're going to be watching this video on Tuesday, and there's a good chance you won't have it yet. The good news is I ordered mine last week from the bookstore, and it got to my house like 2 days later. So order it ASAP. The shipping was free. The packet includes everything here except for the paper. So I had to order those 2 sheets of paper. The bookstore said that they just couldn't ship stuff that large. So they're big pads of paper. I'm going to be making another video for next meeting, our Thursday exercises for this week. And I'm going to be going through all the materials, showing you what everything is and kind of explaining it to you. And then we're going to have the opportunity to mess with those materials a little bit. So week one's pretty much just chill. We're going to be, here we are now talking about the course of the semester, how things are going to look. Next class, next video session, assignment, however you want to refer to it. We're going to be kind of dealing with our materials a little bit more. But the paper, it could take a little while. I've been home painting a lot and ordering a lot of materials rather than being able to just go to the art store. And, it can take a week to get here. So that said, basically what we're going to be starting with is, if you've got pens and any kind of drawing material, computer paper and some pencils, like, you can make this first class work for you. So try not to stress too much, get what you can ASAP. But I recognize not everyone's going to have their stuff the first week. So the links are there. If you need me to resend them, check your email. And if you can't find them, let me know. I'll resend you that stuff pretty easy. Everything's in here. Like I said, we're going to go over this in our Thursday morning videos. But then we've got a basic, like, general breakdown of our course. Like I said, just to reiterate, I'm going to be this video. I'm recording it Sunday night, but it'll be posted Tuesday morning. Being that everyone's schedule, mine included, is all wacky and crazy, I'm just going to say it'll be posted before noon. So, some people sleep till noon. Like I said, I have a toddler, and so I at best sleep till 6 a.m. So I'm up early, and you can email me early. You can email me whenever, but sometimes if you're emailing me, I'm not a night owl, so if you're emailing me really late, I probably won't see it till the next morning. But just expect on Tuesdays and Thursdays before noon that in your email, and post it on Canvas in the assignments, you'll see, primarily on Canvas. So focus more on Canvas. Check Canvas. It should notify you when I post an assignment, but check Canvas in each assignment, and I'll have a breakdown of everything for that day. So if we look at the top here, your assignments are right here. You'd click this little button there. It'll take you, right now there's nothing there. It'll take you to your assignments that'll be here. All your grades, every time something comes in, I'm going to be posting those grades. You post your grades there. All the people in our class, I'll be able to post files and resources. Syllabus is our homepage. There's a place for rubrics, but I usually just attach them to the assignment. We've got discussions here as well. So we'll be able to actually, I'm going to see if we can make this work, but actually have a couple discussions when projects are due, where we can each comment on each other's project that we've worked on. But yeah, ultimately, As far as grading goes, being that you're not actually physically turning in your projects, you're going to just be taking pictures of things. And I'll have more info on that with each project because each project's a little different. So how you document it and take pictures is up to you, is up to that specific project. You're not going to need to send me some, super high resolution, perfect photograph. Um, but if you got a phone or a little digital camera, find a nice well lit area. Even if it's a flat table, you get up on top of it, you snap pics. Um, Email that to me. If it's on your phone, then it's really easy to just email from there to me. Uh, each exercise that you do will be due through that assignments page, and you can actually turn it in on Canvas in that spot because they'll all be online submissions. So that's where you'll turn everything in. It'll all make sense. So you get your first assignment, first exercise, you'll see it. With those exercises, like whatever you got for the day, just lay it on a table, take a pic. Which brings me to another point. You want to make sure, being that you're going to be drawing a lot and doing all your drawing from home, set yourself up somewhere nice. Like get yourself a desk, some kind of table situation that you can sit at and work at. Think of this drawing space as your little studio where you're going to be working. Sometimes it's better to have that in a place that's not where you do your nice paperwork or where you keep your nice laptop, because the reality is drawing is messy. Like we're going to start and we're going to with charcoal, and we're going to use some charcoal. So maybe you have a pop-up little desk that you can draw in your kitchen or out on your patio, or if you're in an apartment somewhere small, like a little studio, lay down a sheet underneath you that you can wash after each time you're working with the charcoal. But the reality is this charcoal is kind of messy. It's an important material for us to use because it's really direct and it's fast. And then after like a few weeks, you'll be able to use whichever materials you prefer. But we are going to start with the charcoal. So keep that in mind. It's messy. So make sure you're somewhere that you can work comfortably. There's good light. It's okay if you make a little bit of a mess there. Do what you can within your limitations. Drawing is a lot of work and it's really difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like people often take the class and say, "Oh, I just want to have fun." And I think drawing's fun, and it's fun in a way that it's fun in this like challenging way that like I just like to see it done. So I keep just going and going and going until it's done, and then I get the sense of accomplishment from it. I enjoy it. But it can also be frustrating. There's days where I crumple up my drawing, throw it against the wall, and walk out of here and just go take a walk outside because I'm super frustrated by it. I've been drawing since I was a little kid, and I still think it's one of the hardest things that I do. So it's not like it gets easier. Your expectations of what is good just go up higher. So you get a little better, figure out some technique, and then next thing you know, boom, you're like, oh, well, if I could do this better too, then you're frustrated again. Then you figure that out and you feel great. And then it's like the next thing and the next thing, always getting better. So that said, it can be fun. Set yourself up comfortably. It's not like you're stuck researching some crazy thing about some point in history that you don't even care about, or whatever it is that you're forced to take at class. Like I'll draw, I'll have a movie going or music playing or listening to a podcast or whatever, like as long as you can focus on your drawing, you can figure out ways to make it comfortable and entertaining. So that's a big thing. Any questions about that, or you need some tips on setting up your space? The biggest thing is, are you sitting comfortably because you might be there for a few hours? Do you have good light? And are you okay to make a little bit of a mess? That's all you really need to figure out. Nice flat surface. Like sometimes I've sat and like worked on a drawing in front of the TV on the couch. Not going to be good because we have these 18 by 24 inch pieces of paper. Not going to be super comfortable for you. So lots of info. Wish I could shake all your hands and see you in person right now. We could be doing this like normal, but obviously we're not, and we're here, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to do what we can. So appreciate you guys being here with me through this, and your patience with me as I figure this all out. And I promise to have patience with you as well while you do the same. So that's a basic rundown for what we're going to be doing in the general sense. I'm going to pause this video so that you can take a break, and then I'm going to be posting another video that is a slideshow that really does start to break down what a good drawing can be. And we can, if the minute we can let go of this sense of our preconceived notion of what a good drawing is and understand that a good drawing doesn't always look like a photograph. Sometimes it's more about just a unique perspective on something, or the way you handled your materials is really different. So yeah, take a break. Next video you watch is going to be a slideshow, all based on breaking down those expectations, because that'll help you move forward and draw. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys. Never hesitate to reach out with questions. My email is up top here, and I'll figure out a way. If you do, once again, download Zoom. The Zoom app is free. You don't need Zoom Pro. You don't need anything that's going to cost you money. You can just download it for free. And then hopefully, if everyone does that, we can put out some kind of survey or something, find a time where we can all sit face to face and at least say hello. Cool. Well, let's see if I can go back to our normal screen. There we are. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to end this one, and then keep your eyes open for that next video.